Yeah. I'm Gaby Labotka. My pronouns are they, she, or anything respectful. I'm a learning experience. And my topic is whisper.
I love everything about that. And are you ready?
I gotta be. I already had my 2 Malort, so let's go.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. I want whiskey so bad.
Gosh, please whiskey, everybody. Someone be a hero. Right
Please.
now, audience, are you ready? It's Gaby Labotka for Whisper in 3, 2, 1, begin.
During the lockdown of 2020, I began to collect a lot of plants. I needed a hobby, I needed to focus on something, and I went from 5 to 22 plants over the first year of lockdown. They're all named after Shakespearean characters. For example, Richard is the spider plant because Richard III was the bottled spider. Or Charmian, the fiddly fig, because Charmian, one of Cleopatra's handmaids, says she loves long life better than figs. Yeah, I'm that kind of nerd. I was lonely. We all were. My green thumb is a skipped generational trait. My abuela tends to her garden up in the mountains of San Sebastian where she lives alone. Besides her family, the garden is her pride. Her garden brings her such joy and is filled with stories of love. From the light pink and white orchids she keeps alive in her sister's memory, to the lemon tree and parcha plants whose juices we transform together into sweet tart delights to quench the hot, humid days on the island. To the avocado plant, my abuelo genetically engineered to be this big with this small of a pit, but Abuela had let it die after his death because she hates avocados. And the long-gone husk of that tree still nourishes the soil. There is love. Love is the whisper carried on the wind, spoken by the flutter of the leaves and the petals of my abuela's garden. All of her garden is filled with such company in the memory and thought of loved ones that I was inspired and grabbed any remote pickup orphaned foliage that I could find on Facebook Marketplace. In the years since this pandemic began, like all of us, I suffered familial losses, friend losses, and self-losses. In 2022, my grief was so loud that whispers of I don't want to be here anymore began passing through my thoughts. And that's fucking scary. So I went to therapy. And well, my therapist and I weren't the best fit, but I'm a freelance theater artist who needed help, so even though I had to explain pronouns and queerness and Puerto Rican diaspora and alienation in my weird-ass job, I kept working with her, and she did help me, because my therapist once told me to whisper my pain to my plants, that they would listen to me, that they would transmute my grief-filled carbon dioxide into oxygen, which I could consume between sobs. That together, our respiration is mutually beneficial. I mean, that is my version of her words because she is a middle-aged white lady named Kimberly. But I did that. I do that. And when I do, I take a deep breath in afterwards. And sometimes I'm still afraid to do that. It feels too intimate to name my pain, and my plants wither and expire with the unspoken whisper. Did you know that exhale and expire are synonyms? Did you know that inhale and inspire are synonyms too? I think a whisper is kind of like a seed. It's planted, takes root, and grows. It fills with so much potential. And sure, sometimes there's a dud, and more often than not, it yields back what nutrients it has been given and then some. Time, attention, nourishment, fear. Because sometimes there are invasive species of flora that take and consume the fertile soil, like the whispers behind the back, or dishonest promises, or sharp reprimands, or rumors, or unsolicited compliments, or Robert Durst murder confessions, or pledges that homegrowns are next. The double-edged blessing of a hot mic catching dangerous whispers. At least we know what they're planning. Even if the seeds of panic are now planted and consume our energy with trauma response, our screaming and draining fight or flight readiness, on edge and ready and anxiously waiting for the strike. I know I am here to fight, and usually that involves a lot of screaming, especially for me, but I'm curious about taking it in the other direction because fighting through whispers is foreign to me. As a passionate small person, the screaming feels like the only way to be heard sometimes in such an immensely loud world, in immense pain, in loud fear due to immense, relentless violence. By no means am I discounting screaming, because by God, we have to do that too. But I am curious about our quiet resilience. The reclamation of our energy, the nourishing fortitude. I'm curious about the quiet joys, the secrets and beauty in sharing truth with a trustworthy person, even if it's only, I think I might be queer, to oneself. I'm curious about the, I got you, or the, have you eaten today? Or the, be careful around that person. Or I did it. Or it's okay to be afraid. Or you're not alone. Or you're powerful, or good night. And the whispered I love yous between hearts in every shade of relation. That immense power and the concentration of a thought carried in a whisper. Focused and direct and ripe with potential. Trusting the gentle softness of breath rather than expired volume. A focused contradiction. A flower in the panic. I think the gentleness is worth it. In a world filled with screaming, we can restore and reinforce ourselves and each other with a whisper. The seed of a thought deliberately planted, the intimacy of a short distance, soft lips near an earlobe. I often think about the whispers I would die for. I have weeded the garden of my mind of that invasive thought of not wanting to be. Every once in a while it pops back as weeds or wants to, and I whisper it away, exhaled into Rosalind's pink-tinted leaves to clear it again. And I think about what nourishing whispers I could share with my hurting and scared loved ones and community to fortify them for the escalation of the storm that is already here.